And we're live. Well, actually, we're not really live because we're
Well,
not live
I
streaming.
gotta do the intro.
Oh, you gotta. I'm sorry. Go ahead and do the intro.
Well, this is a terrible first episode. Welcome everybody to the very first episode of Let's Talk About It. I am your host David, and today with me is my brother Rick. Rick, say hi.
What's up?
So this is the show
That's a
where,
millennial reference.
God. So this is the show
That's
where
more like Gen X, isn't it?
I'm trying to do the intro, man.
Oh man, we're off to a terrible start.
This is the show where I will be talking to different people about different things. It could be about video games. It could be about movies, movie trailers. Today, me and Rick are actually going to be breaking down the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer. So,
8 days after it came out,
which is
I have it on good authority that is the cardinal sin of trailer breakdowns, but
well, Mr. Sunday Movies does it like a week after it comes out. So
no, he does not. He does it like a day after it comes out.
yeah, but he hates doing it. But he hates doing it. So we got something over him.
That's true.
we
But
got-
I mean,
we
we don't actually know that yet because this is our first trailer breakdown. Maybe we'll end up hating it.
dude, we love talking about this crap.
Do we though?
I do.
Yeah, we do. All right, all right. So,
But
as David mentioned, we're going to be breaking down Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker.
which what do you think that means? For example, what do you think the Rise of
I mean,
Skywalker means?
the
I've
popu-
heard speculations that it's the new name of the Jedi Order.
Yeah,
Skywalker.
that's the popular internet theory is that the Skywalker name isn't a name; it's a title, and the how Episode 8 was the Last Jedi. That symbolizes the end of the Jedi Order, and now we have Rising Skywalkers.
Rising Skywalkers.
Rising Skywalkers.
I really think that it's either referencing Ben or it's referencing Rey.
Okay.
But my
I don't
standing
think Rey's a
theory,
Skywalker though.
I think Rey's a Palpatine, and I think that's why we hear
I don't
Palpatine
think
at the
she's
end
a
of the
Palpatine
trailer.
either. I think she might be a creation of Palpatine, but I don't think she's actually a Palpatine. Do
And
you really think that dude was getting laid? I just,
when he was
like,
younger,
honestly,
maybe she could be thousands of years old. Like we don't
she's
know.
not thousands of years old.
Well, we don't know how long people can live in this universe. We don't know that.
I don't know, man. Like Han Solo went from Alden Ehrenreich or whatever his name was to grumpy old Harrison Ford in a span of about 35 years. So I'm going to guess that at least human beings age about the same rate that we do.
Yeah, I guess. But another thing I wanted to bring up was, and this is at the end of the trailer, which we'll get to. But when I first watched the trailer and I heard the laughing at the end, I thought that was Luke laughing. I thought that was like
You thought it
him
was
going.
no, man.
I thought that was him going jokery. But that just could be because I haven't seen the prequels in a really long time.
Oh, dude, I knew it was Palps right away.
Well, aren't you special?
Well, that's what Mom tells me.
uh, yeah, she doesn't tell me that. Hold on, I just got a pop up on my computer. Yeah, I don't care. It pops up every other week. So yeah, we're gonna be breaking down this trailer. So let's get started.
All right.
The first thing that happens in this trailer is obviously
Lucasfilm.
well, not that. That obviously
Oh,
happens,
sorry.
but she, it's very Return of the Jedi esque, where she turns on her lightsaber and jumps over a um,
So lots of breathing, like the first two trailers.
and just
A desert planet.
a
that's-
woman
that's
woman
original.
staring into the distance. Sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman. You never know.
You never know, and it's a desert planet, like something we've never seen before in a Star Wars film.
Like in we've never seen it before, except in every Star Wars film.
All right, so we got the part. Oh, every generation has a legend. That's pretty generic. So it's got a TIE fighter charging her.
Who do you think's in the TIE fighter?
It's Ben. It's got to be Ben
Well, it
Solo
might- but
or
what if
Kylo
it's-
Ren or whatever.
What if it's Luke?
It's not Luke.
What,
Luke's
what
dead.
if there's see here's
He disappeared in the last movie.
well
man.
here's the thing. I think what J.J. Abrams is
paused it.
trying to do. I paused it by the way. I think what J.J. Abrams is trying to do is trying to make us forget that the Last Jedi happened. Because here's the thing.
I don't think I can forget.
But here's the thing about the Last Jedi, and we talked about this before, but obviously we've never done the show before. I like Last Jedi as a sci-fi movie. I don't like it as a Star Wars movie. Would you say that's fair? I have the same problem. I have
I'd
with the
say
Last Jedi.
I would agree with you for the majority of that. I didn't, I'm sure as most true Star Wars fans would agree. We don't like the undertones of the philosophies of Admiral Purple Hair Lady.
Admiral Purple Hair Lady.
What is her name again?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Admiral
mean,
Purple Hair Lady.
she's so forgettable. We don't Laura Dernham or the
Which
lady
I
from
will say
Jurassic
this:
Park.
Laura Dernham is a great actress.
Oh yeah, she is a
She's
great
a
actress.
fantastic
But
actress.
I don't have like I don't have an issue with Ray or making the new cast diverse or anything. What I have an issue with is specifically with the last movie is the philosophy of tearing people down to lift people up. I'm more of a rising tide lifts all boats kind of a guy.
Yeah.
You can lift people up without tearing people down.
Hold on, let me turn down this mic real quick because it's picking up like echoes like crazy, which you're gonna probably hear a ding 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 in just a couple seconds, folks. Let me turn it down to a nice 85. That's much better.
Nice 85.
And that's much
Playing
better.
the hits.
It was like at 90. But so yeah, but
Oh yeah.
so what I was gonna say is the same problem I have with The Last Jedi is my problem with Rogue One, which is I believe is the worst Star Wars movie. But that's
hold on.
That's an episode for another day.
Oh, no. Hold on. Rogue One wasn't great, but it's not the worst Star Wars film.
It's the best Star Trek film, which makes it the worst Star Wars film.
It's not a Star Trek film.
It feels like a Star Trek film.
It doesn't feel like a Star Trek film.
This is a discussion for
Dude,
another video.
You've watched like 45 minutes of Star Trek in your entire life, and that's what your opinions are based off of. And you watched a lot of commentary video. You did watch Discovery though, right?
No.
All right. Well, yeah, you did. You said you did.
No, I didn't. When did I ever say that?
You said last week.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. I watched one
yeah,
episode. I watched the pilot, which was terrible.
Yeah, I know, and that's shaped your opinions, and that's a pretty god awful show. Well,
no. Well, let me finish my thought real quick. So the same problem I have with The Last Jedi is the same problem I have with Rogue One, and it's the same problem I have with Prometheus. Prometheus is an excellent sci-fi movie. It does not work as an alien movie.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, when the xenomorph pops out of the engineer's chest, that movie's immediately ruined because it could have just been a great horror sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think anybody can agree with that. I mean, yeah, there's dumb people in that movie, but it's not a bad movie until that xenomorph pops out of that guy's chest. That's where the movie gets ruined. And that's the same problem I have with Rogue One. Rogue One is an excellent sci-fi movie, but as soon as you say, no, this is a Star Wars movie, that's where that movie gets ruined. Because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in the Star Wars. Like,
absolutely fits in the Star Wars
universe. Don't even add it in. You don't even need it. We know what happens.
It goes into the intricacies of the rebellion, man. I did not enjoy Rogue One is not my favorite Star Wars film, but it fit fine in the universe. They got the aesthetic right. They got they got the intricacies of the rebellion more correct, I think, than the original trilogy. It kind of focused more on how a rebellion would work in that sort of a situation than just the consummate hero good guy people that we got in the
But it was so boring.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't great. Like I said, it wasn't great. But to call it the worst Star Wars movie is completely ignoring
Attack of the Clones is probably
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's completely ignoring that Attack of the Clones I don't like singing.
The name doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, if he doesn't like it, why is he kneeling in it?
Clones are supposed to be the good guys. Why are they Why are you implying that they're attacking something?
Well, like, why is it called Attack of the Clones if the clones don't even attack anyone? And I know some people
attack the droid army, but
they attack the droid army, but that's just it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have called it. You know what that movie could have been called? The Attack of Skywalker. Or the Attack on Skywalker. It still would have been a terrible movie.
I mean, it would have been a more accurate name.
But yeah, it would have been a more accurate name.
I think. Yeah, I don't know what I would. I would have named Episode 1 Night of the Republic and maybe Episode 2 Phantom Menace.
No, I think the name should have been Night of the Republic.
Would have been with a K.
Night of the
Republic. Play on words. It wouldn't have made sense in other languages though.
But no, it should have been called Night of the Republic, Dawn of the Empire, and the last one should have been called Dawn of the Empire, and then the last one should have been called The Day of Vader.
So I think we can agree that Star Wars is not great with naming their movies.
Yes,
we would do. Rise of Skywalker is a dumb title.
The Kwiatkowski brothers would do much better.
I don't know about much better, but I'm sure we are.
Well, we're getting off track.
Brain Trust could name movies better than George Lucas.
We're getting so bad off. We're getting so off track.
Why don't you hit the play button?
Yeah. Okay. So let me hit the play button. Right. So yeah, this is very reminiscent of.
That's Kylo Ren, dude. It's his gloves.
Yeah, it probably is. But this is very reminiscent of Return of the Jedi, where Luke pulls out the lightsaber and cuts the speeder in half, and I think that's what J.J. Abrams is trying to reference.
I don't think she's going to cut the speeder in half. I think she's training. All right, so we got the Leia music, got an A-wing going to.
We got
Oh
Kylo
no,
Ren
that's
stabbing
Canto.
somebody. What?
No, he wasn't stabbing. He was body slamming the dude.
So do you
Right.
think
So
that
there's.
Kylo Ren's a good guy in this? That he's turned from his
Well, no, I mean
ways?
it just.
Because it looks like he's attacking the Knights of Ren, which I do believe are going to be in this movie.
He doesn't look like he's attacking the Knights of Ren necessarily. I mean, he could have been.
It could be a flashback of his training.
Something that he didn't outright stab the dude. He's just body slamming him. So maybe he's good.
Maybe he's a good
Some
guy,
people
but
dude would just like.
or maybe something that one of my friends brought up is possibly he's manipulating the Republic, or
The Republic's gone, man.
not the Republic.
They got their planet blown up.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
The
that.
planet's blown up.
Yeah, I got like stuff popping all over the place on my computer, but yeah. Oh my goodness, minimize. Get out of here. Oh my goodness, I got stuff.
David's love
popping
of herbal supplements is betraying me.
up. Hey,
Gotta
that's
watch out for those websites.
There's like Windows Assist update that's popping up, and
Oh, that's what it is.
gosh, all right, I finally minimized it.
All right.
But yeah, so someone brought this up to me that he could be manipulating Rey, making him think that he has turned, but instead he's trying to get into her head to turn her towards the dark side, but
Yeah, I mean that's possible. That's possible.
but he's too much of a whiny baby to do that. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Anakin Skywalker, which I don't like.
they are related.
Yeah, but
And I mean, really, when you think about it, if you go back to the original trilogy, but I wanted to go to the Tashi station because of power converters.
Yeah, did you see the Robot Chicken of that, where the Tashi station is?
Yeah, I know.
It's
think
the
we've all
strip
seen
club.
The
But,
power converters.
But
Yeah,
here's the thing. Here's the thing about that is
That's really bad.
he's only a whiner in A New Hope. In Empire, he's a badass. I mean, he goes toe to toe with Vader, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
And then in Return of the Jedi, he kind of goes back to a whiner. But you got to remember, Return of the Jedi is an absolute kids movie. I mean, it was made to sell.
I don't know if he
toys.
went. He was a little more stoic in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I played the Joker.
Indeed, I did. That's a really bad joke, Bryce. Okay, so we got it paused. Poe and what's his nuts or
Poe and Finn.
Poe and Finn.
Which do you think that Poe and Finn are going to become a couple? Like, do you think they're going to have like an ending scene where they're getting married or something?
No. Who knows?
Who knows?
This is Disney.
It's Disney.
It's Disney. I mean, okay. I mean, that's 2019. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you
What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Which I should say, I don't have a problem with that at all. If they do that, whatever.
I mean, it's a movie, man.
Yeah, it's a movie. Who cares?
Okay, so you got Leia. Now you got Rey looking at the Death Star,
And then-
which is, the people have been. Which Death Star is it? There's Palpatine laughing.
So Palpatine laughs at the end, and again, I thought that was originally Mark Hamill. Like when you first showed me that.
It was clearly Ian McDermott.
And I listened to, and I just want to say, like, before we reference Mr. Sunday Movies. For those of you who know who that is, we're big fans of the Weekly Planet. James said the same thing. He thought that was Mark Hamill laughing. So there could be something to that.
That's true, but I don't know how anybody can make that mistake. It's like that stupid, but it might be like that audio thing last year with the Yanni Laurel. You remember that? Did you participate?
And
which one did you hear, by the way?
I think I heard Yanni.
Really?
Which one did you hear?
Laurel.
Really? I can't remember which one I heard. I'm pretty sure it was Yanni.
People, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the people that could hear the higher frequencies heard Yanni. And I was in the Air Force for 4 years, and my hearing is garbage. So I mean, I heard Laurel.
No, well, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't hear those upper bands.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which one I heard. If we played it right now, I'd be able to, but I'm not going to risk that because I've had so much trouble setting this up. So, and my computer's garbage. So if I
gotta stop buying those herbal supplements online. Man, I'm telling you.
I do not buy herbal supplements. I buy pre-workout online.
Shady website.
But yeah, so I can't tell you off the top of my head which one I heard, but yeah, so there could be something to that, and it could also be, and I know Ian McDermott was at Star Wars Celebration, but that could just honestly be misleading people. And again, I think J.J.
It's
Abrams,
Palpatine.
and you know, I'm willing to bet that this movie is going to be a major course
No,
correction
I
from the
don't
Last
think.
Jedi.
I don't think. No, no. Let me caveat by saying I don't think the Emperor is going to be in it.
You think it's just going to be a hologram?
No, I think right. It's going to be like the the video game Battlefront 2, where he had he had that droid that he pre-recorded some coded Imperial message into. I think it's either going to be that, it's going to be some kind of Force back, like in the Force Awakens. By the way, Matt Smith is listed on the IMDb.
He's
For those of
playing
you
that
who
part.
don't know who Matt Smith is, he's of course the
11th Doctor.
the 11th Doctor, which is the third best Doctor.
Who is the best Doctor, you would say?
Well,
this
I
is
mean,
completely
okay,
off track,
my
but
doctor is Chris Eccleston.
My
'cause
doctor
I
is
started
David Tennant.
I started watching Doctor Who in 2005. However,
David
um,
Tennant's the best Doctor. I mean,
no,
I think
no,
we can
no,
all agree
no,
on
he's
that.
not. No.
I like David Tennant.
No, actually, people don't like me for. Actually, I wouldn't even say he's the third best Doctor. People don't like me for saying this. I've gone back and watched Classic Who. I actually like the third Doctor, John Petrie, I believe his name is.
A lot of people don't like that. I've heard a lot of people don't like
I
that
love
Doctor.
it. I think it's great. The Doctor being stuck on Earth. That I really like those.
Now, I can't really say anything
Self-contained
because
stories.
I've never really watched the original Doctor Who. I've only really watched the new ones. I don't like Eccleston. I really love David Tennant, and I really love Matt Smith.
You never watched any Classic Who?
No, I've never
Third
really
Doctor.
watched them.
Actually, second Doctor is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Tom Baker. Everybody loves the Fourth Doctor. And then, after that, the series started going downhill. It actually got canceled in, I believe it was 1989 with Sylvester McCoy. But I actually like Sylvester McCoy. He just was the victim of progressively poor writing, which is what Doctor Who seems to be the victim of today.
Yeah.
By the way, that's no reflection on the current Doctor or Doctress.
Doctors.
She calls herself the Doctor.
Here's the thing. I don't mind the Doctor being a woman. It's been established that Time Lords can regenerate into anything.
Yeah, no. I don't care about that. I think the writing started to go downhill in Matt Smith's final season.
Yeah, and
it just just continued on a downward trajectory, and switching showrunners certainly didn't help.
If they want to make a woman the Doctor, if they want to make the Doctor a woman, that's fine. Just have good writing with it. If they have good writing, I'm on board.
Yeah, that's all I care about.
You know what I mean?
By the way, Missy, Michelle Gomez's portrayal of the Master, I thought was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Far and away, my second favorite Master to. I'm blanking on the name, but whoever the Master was in season, the original Master.
Do you think that? And there's a really good theory to say that Rory's the Master because when Rory goes back in time with Amy and you see their graves, obviously you think that they're dead, but then you think back to the episode where David Tennant goes to the year 1 trillion and the Doctor's an old frail man.
I think that's I think that's a long dead fan theory. It's a good one to I think it's good for some fan fiction, but it's just not. They could have made it a reality. I think there was a solid amount of time
to do
where
it.
They could have made Rory the Master, and it would have worked really well.
I think they contemplated it, but
I think that ship sailed.
Yeah, I think they definitely contemplated it because when he sees River Song regenerate, he says he hears a banging in his head.
There's banging in his head, and how else would River Song? I don't buy the whole theory that River Song can regenerate just because she was conceived in the TARDIS.
So I think they definitely contemplated it for a little bit.
Bang in the TARDIS, then you should get Time Lord DNA too. I don't know. That doesn't jive with me.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, but I think they contemplated it for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think it just didn't really fit. So they kind of did away with it. But anyways, that's off track. That's all off track.
We're getting way off track. By the way, it's almost midnight here.
Yeah, so we are extreme. We just got out of Bible study. We are extremely tired, and we've been planning. And the first time we did this podcast, we were rudely interrupted by
the golden boy. Our brother Joe is our mom's favorite.
Yeah, so she
excitedly came down here to inform us of his arrival.
And then I said, "Mom, we're recording." She said to me, "Next time, put a note on your door. Your brother's here."
Yeah. Just for those of you who are wondering, I in fact do not live in my parents' basement. No, present company. I'm not going to disclose where they live, but
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Now I will say that
We're just hanging out. We're just happen to be recording this in our parents' basement.
I will
Happy coincidence.
I will not confirm nor deny that I live in my parents' basement. Spoiler alert, I do. But
Oh man,
but
you're a
I'm a lot
fellow.
I'm a lot younger than Rick.
Save it
But
on rent.
I do pay rent here, and I do have a full-time job. I'm not a bum, although I do eat.
Hear that, ladies? He's not a bum. What a deal.
What a deal. I don't have a college degree, but I have a full-time job.
That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah. So, but here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that this movie's gonna suffer from Episode 8 syndrome.
I think it will a little bit. I mean, I don't think that's going to stop any
And by the
casual
way-
fans or true fans from actually going to see it once. And if it's a good story, I think it's a very easy opportunity for them to win fans back.
Yeah, and when I say Episode 8 syndrome, I mean like just put in nothing characters that do nothing for the story and have them be there because
Well, like Admiral Purple Hair.
yeah, Admiral Purple Hair and
that role
Rose
should have been Admiral Akbar. I know that drum's been beaten to death.
and then Rose should have been
Rose
Ray.
had no point.
Rose should have been Ray. That should have been Ray the entire
Yeah,
time.
I mean that side
or
I mean,
Poe.
They should have all gone a side quest together.
Oh yeah, that would have been
That would
great.
have been pretty cool. Or
So-
at least Poe and Finn should have gone.
Yeah,
on a
Poe and
side
Finn. That would have been great. I mean, we've already established that they're great friends and that they would do anything for each other. Talking about my best friend.
Yeah, I mean it's.
They could share in a very emotional non-gay moment at the end. I mean, it'd be great.
Are they really great friends though? Because they've only known each other for like 2 days.
Dude, he gave him his jacket.
Whoa.
That's friendship.
I suppose so.
No. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's what I mean by Episode 8 syndrome. Just nothing characters that do nothing for the story. And that one guy, that had the stutter, I can't remember his name. That should have been Boba Fett. That should have absolutely been.
That should have
And
been. That was a complete missed opportunity.
And they should have
Ryan
explained
Johnson,
it.
talking to you.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, we know you listen. We hate you.
Oh, we don't hate you.
We don't hate you, but you ruined Star Wars. No, that was George Lucas. But
Well, yeah, there's a litany of people that ruined Star Wars.
George Lucas is one of them.
That could be a topic of another podcast. Was Star Wars good?
Listen,
Is it good?
listen. I myself am amazed that I love Star Wars because when I
It's
really
really
think
not good.
No.
we love Star Wars, but it's not good.
there's over like 120 hours of Star Wars just in movie form, and
I don't think it's 120 hours.
there's
Well, you
about
said,
to be 9 movies.
You said in movie form. Yeah, okay. 2-hour runtime times 9, Dave. What is that?
I am extremely dyslexic.
Okay. Maybe 20 hours. It's maybe 20 hours of Star Wars.
I'll have to edit that out.
I don't think you're going to.
No, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it in.
Do you know how to edit?
No, not at all. We're going to learn this as we go along, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know how to edit, but I'm not telling you.
You're a jerk.
Alright.
But no, so yeah, there's over like 20 hours of film time for Star Wars, and like only 4 hours of it is good. Which
Okay. How would you rank the Star Wars?
You want to rank the Star Wars real quick?
Let's rank the Star Wars.
because we
of
pretty much
the ones that have come out.
because we pretty much finished the
No,
trailer
I mean,
review.
we'll start from the bottom.
Okay,
Start from the
so
bottom.
worst to best.
Worst to best.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack.
Absolutely.
You just told me that Rogue One was the worst
Listen,
Star Wars movie.
it's a close battle, but at the end of the day, Attack of the Clones is just awful. I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the dialogue is terrible.
Okay.
And here's the thing about Attack of the Clones, and people have brought this up before. It should know better. It should absolutely know
after the
better.
failure of the Phantom Menace,
It should that movie should absolutely know better.
Yeah.
Like George Lucas should have been like, you know what, I need to let somebody else
their
direct this.
creative control over, but
But he was surrounded by an army of yes men when he said, I should do the second movie. They all looked at him and said, of course you should. Because you're George Lucas. Who else would do it?
well, I mean, it's also Star Wars. You could have a cat playing a piano for 2 hours and people would go see it.
Yeah.
At least once.
At least once, yeah, and yeah.
In my case, twice.
And you'll be walking out going, I think that was good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I walked out of the movie theater, The Last Jedi. I mean, as time moved on, I've come to hate that movie.
Here's the thing.
More
I
and more.
like that movie. I initially really liked that
Yeah,
movie coming
I
out of
remember
it.
fighting with you about it.
But here's the thing, and here's the thing that really makes me bad about The Last Jedi. When, and if you haven't seen it, I mean, you don't have to. It's fine. But when Carrie Fisher gets shot out of the cockpit in the beginning of the movie, that should have been her death scene.
Yeah,
That should have been her
really,
send
it
off.
really should have.
It would have been a great send off because I mean Carrie Fisher died shortly after that movie was made. I mean, so why keep her?
It should have happened later in the film too.
Yeah, it should have
It would
happened.
have been a little more emotional.
Yeah, but
And I think it could have solidified Kylo Ren's path to the dark side.
mm-hmm. And yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, Attack of the Clones is the worst one. Next one, Rogue One. Rogue One, I have to put that at the end because it's just
I'd say Revenge of the Sith.
no Revenge of the Sith.
No, people rank Revenge of the Sith higher than it should be, and I think the reason why is because it's
PG-13.
People consider it the best of the prequels. I don't. I actually think Phantom Menace is the best of the prequels.
We'll talk about that because I slightly agree with you.
My opinion has changed dramatically on the Phantom Menace.
Is it because of Darth Maul and how they've made him much better in the Clone Wars and the Rebels?
No.
Is it because of that reason?
No, it's not because of Darth Maul.
Okay, well,
that's actually the reason why it ranks lower on my list because Darth Maul could have been so much more.
Yeah, and he should have been the Vader of that series of the prequels. He should have been the Vader.
Yeah.
He should have showed up in all three films.
I agree with that. I think they could have done a lot more. They could have probably tied Anakin's story a little bit to Darth Maul.
And it would have been a much better revenge story, because what they should have done is they should have introduced Anakin as a young man, like as a mechanic on Alderaan with his brother Owen. They should have been brothers. They shouldn't have been weird step brothers that when he meets him, he says...
they kind of had to shoehorn in episode 2 because George was like, oh crap, I forgot to explain this.
Owen, and then he meets Owen. He's like, my dad married your mom.
So
I guess we're brothers. That is the actual line. I guess that makes us brothers now. And then he's never in the movie again. We don't see him to the end of Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I guess Revenge of the Sith would go right next to
Obi-Wan drops off a baby like a deadbeat with no explanation.
And he twists his beard and says, "Great," which I
take cash.
I personally think
that was a reference to Arlen.
I personally think that they should have ended it with him giving Luke to Owen and Owen looking at Obi-Wan and saying, "If you ever come near my family again, I will kill you." Because that would explain why...
I think they should have given Owen some Force sensitivity that he decided to give up because he saw Anakin's turn to the dark side firsthand.
That would have been great. And the line where he's... the line where... when he goes to Padme and says Anakin has turned to the dark side, he should have been telling Owen that. And then Owen should have Owen should have gone into like a Sith rage when he heard that news. And that would have further cemented the fact that he is Force sensitive.
That could have been the big reveal in Episode 3 because you're not really sure if Owen does until Episode 3. I'm sure there were Star Wars fans we're a very fickle bunch.
Yeah,
I'm sure that people would have got pissed off about that. Like, you never told us that Owen had Star Wars powers.
And what's the fact?
Jedi powers?
And how can he stand toe to toe with Anakin, the most powerful Sith in the galaxy? It doesn't make sense. But anyways, we're back to ranking. We're getting so off track. Okay. But back to ranking these movies.
Okay, so hold on. Since we won't get in a bunny trail. Just give me your ranking, and I'll give you my ranking, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Okay.
And then we'll go to bed.
I guess this is going to be a pretty short episode.
I gotta go to bed, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look for houses tomorrow, but
Yep.
Anyways, so.
By the way, if you're selling a house, my wife and I are looking for a house. Preferably for free.
For free. So yeah, my rankings would have to be Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Phantom Menace lower than Rogue One.
Yeah.
You just argued with me earlier for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Rogue One is the worst Star Wars movie.
Listen, you changed my mind.
Okay.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Rogue One, and listen, that's a close. Like, it's close. It's interchangeable. It really is. Because I don't like Rogue One. Revenge of the Sith. Uh, I really like A New Hope, and this is where they actually start getting good because I really like A New Hope.
Okay.
A New Hope, Last Jedi, only because, and here's the reason why The Last Jedi is
I'm giving
ranked
you the
above.
stink eye right now.
I know you are, but here's the reason why Last Jedi is ranked above A New Hope because there's a scene in The New Hope, and we've talked about this at the end, where the budget clearly runs out and the music stops and all the turrets stop. And the same footage is played like 3 times over itself. And it's just horrible.
Yeah, they fixed that in a special edition, though.
Yeah, but I was watching the original. I said, "Oh my gosh, the budget has run out." They like that movie should not have done well. So that's the only reason why The Last Jedi is ranked above A New Hope. Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, and then of course Empire. Empire is my favorite.
Well, yeah, it goes without saying that Empire is the best one.
By far, Empire
So
is the
I
best
will-
movie. And you know, I didn't even count Solo in there, which I probably should have.
Oh yeah, I
but
forgot about
I
that.
forgot about. But here's the thing, and here's why I didn't put it on my list because I literally forgot about it. I literally forgot about it, and if I'm gonna put it somewhere, it'd be probably in between A New Hope and Last Jedi. Probably it'd be above Last Jedi
Okay.
because I kind of like Solo. I mean,
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
I thought, and here's the thing, I thought I was gonna hate that movie,
That's
but
pretty
it's
good.
it's pretty good.
That's
So,
pretty
anyways, what about you? What's your ranking?
good. Yeah, man. Okay, so yeah, Attack of the Clones is at the bottom. I'd say Last Jedi is at the second bottom.
Which I totally understand.
Yeah.
By the way, I totally understand that. Last Jedi was not a good movie. So,
It had a lot of potential. It was visually stunning, but I left. It's so far near the bottom that I left the movie theater feeling just out of.
I remember you telling me that you said you liked it, but there was
Just
a
so
lot
deflated.
I remember you telling me initially that you liked it, but there was a lot of stupid scenes in it. And once I saw those stupid scenes,
Well,
I would know it.
I think I think
Which you were trying to justify in your head that you did like it, but obviously
Well, I
you
mean,
didn't.
we're Star Wars fans. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, like I have to agree
Okay,
with you.
so-
The Last Jedi is not a good movie.
So Attack of the Clones, Last Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. I'd say Rogue One after Revenge of the Sith.
So you think Phantom Menace is better than Rogue One?
I think Phantom Menace is better than Rogue One, and I would put Phantom Menace right before Rogue One. And the reason,
Which I need to
reason
ask you why. Why do you like that movie?
Really, I mean, it's squarely Ian McDermott's performance, how he masterfully manipulates the Senate.
The Senate.
Rise of the Senate.
I am the Senate.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am losing my train of thought, so I do apologize for the pauses and the lack of productive commentary that I am giving to you this evening. But yeah,
we'll do better in future episodes.
Yeah, we'll do better.
Which I will say, Rick will be
Eventually.
returning in some episodes, but a lot of the times I will be talking with different people, so it's a fresh take on everything.
Fresh takes.
Which, like I said before, sometimes we'll be talking about video games, movies, whatever. And we've really gotten off track because at the beginning of this episode, we said we were going to do a review on the Star Wars trailer, and now we've just gotten into this rabbit hole that we cannot come out of.
Okay, so which one did I just mention?
Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, Phantom Menace.
So what comes
Okay.
after Phantom Menace?
Return of the Jedi.
I could see that, yeah.
Return of the Jedi. New Hope.
Mhm. Solo?
Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Empire. Well,
And
Force
Empire.
Awakens. You forgot.
well,
Force
I'm sorry.
Awakens.
Yeah. Force Awakens is number 2. Empire is number 1.
I'm sure.
I know those of you out there in podcasting land, there's a lot of people that don't like JJ Star Wars, especially.
Who doesn't like that? I love JJ Star Wars. It's part of the reason why I like JJ Trek because JJ Trek feels.
There's a lot of nerds out there that hate JJ Trek, man. You're treading on dangerous ground.
Listen, I hate Star Trek.
Not a real nerd
Rick can
fan
tell
of
you,
Star Trek.
I hate Star Trek. I think it's the most boring, stupidest thing in the world. But JJ Trek is
Not an
good.
intellectual.
JJ Trek is good because I watched it going, this feels like a Star Wars movie.
No, man, it captured the
At least the first one
character
does.
development
And here's the thing,
and the emotion of the original. I like the first JJ Trek. I'm not really a big fan of Into Darkness, and Beyond I think was a little underrated. It really felt like
Beyond
an
was
updated version of the original
terrible.
television show, and
Beyond was
I
terrible.
think it was a victim of
Being terrible.
being in development hell for a few years,
being terrible.
and it was also a victim of
Being
a
a
lot
Star
of the
Trek
negative
movie.
fan reaction to Into Darkness.
Being in the Star Trek universe. Is that what it was a victim of?
Like I said, I mean, it was a little bit of a victim of the fandom not really.
Rick is
really
ignoring me on
liking
purpose, everyone.
Into Darkness. So it was underrated. I think JJ Trek deserved a fourth episode, so to speak.
I think that they kind of did that in
you know,
Discovery. I mean,
that's really not.
is Discovery in the original timeline or is it in the altered timeline?
Well, there was a lot of fan debate on that of whether or not it was in the prime timeline or the original canonical timeline. A lot of fans have thought that Discovery being in the prime timeline meant the prime timeline is separate from canon. What was that?
It was my computer telling me that I need to optimize it to run, which there's going to be a lot of like ba-da-doo, ba-da-doo, ba-da-doo in this episode, which I apologize for,
Which
by the way.
I think that the prime timeline and the original timeline are one and the same. The Discovery producers said at the end of season 2 everything would be fixed. Of course, spoiler alert, they fixed the canon by saying that Discovery and all the technology associated vis-a-vis the spore drive and I think the holo projectors. I think they explained away the holo projectors in one of the episodes. But all this stuff is classified. So Discovery, the spore drive, Michael Burnham, they're all classified.
Yeah.
That did not fix canon for me. I shouldn't say I was sorely disappointed because
Do you like Discovery?
No.
Yeah,
Heck no, I hate Discovery.
I watched the pilot. Like I said, I watched the pilot and it was terrible.
I've watched. I have not watched every single episode of Discovery. I've watched maybe 5 or 6 episodes. I watched a few I watched the Mirror Universe arc during season 1, and I watched maybe the last 5 episodes of season 2, and just the visuals are okay. The visuals are okay.
It looks like a movie. I mean, the pilot.
Yeah, I mean,
the pilot looked like a movie.
Very high budget. I did like Anson Mount as Captain Pike, although I think he wasn't really done justice with the writing, but they did make an attempt to. I will give credit where credit is due. They have made an attempt in season 2 to fix the Klingons, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a whole list of reasons I can go into that I have another time and place. But as a lifelong Trekkie, the Orville is Star Trek.
Yeah, the Orville's really.
Orville
and it's really sad that the 2 best mediums in Star Trek are a parody movie and a parody TV show.
Well, currently, you have it.
And then there's a fan film that you keep telling me about that is probably.
I really hope that comes to fruition. That the whole Axanar movie comes to fruition. I haven't seen anything as of yet. For those of you who don't know, Prelude to Axanar was a fan documentary type thing that was produced in 2014. It had Star Trek alums such as Tony Todd, who played Kurn, Worf's brother, in Next Generation Deep Space Nine. And it had J.G. Heltzer, who played General Martok in Deep Space Nine, who was a very important character in seasons 4 through 7. Very well done, but just they nothing's really come of it, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, listen, and I don't really hate Star Trek. I just kind of say that to get on Rick's nerves. Obviously, there's a lot of fans of Star Trek out there, and without Star Trek, we wouldn't have Star Wars. We'd just have Willow movies forever, and I don't think anybody wants that.
All the way, Peck.
we'd literally have Willow episode 9, The Rise of the Peck.
Would they be able to call him? I mean, it's a very PC culture. Would they be able to call him Pecks now?
Yes.
Well, maybe because it's in the context of that world.
Well, we'd have a.
I'm sure there would be
We'd
somebody.
have.
Now here's a question for you. Would Tyrion Lannister himself what's that little guy's name?
I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I'm so tired.
I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie in so
What is
long.
it? What is his name? What is that midget's name? Peter Dinklage. If you're listening, we love you, man.
We love
just...
Peter Dinklage. You are a phenomenal actor.
Sorry, I couldn't remember your name, and I called you that little guy.
I love you.
Didn't mean it.
I love you in Infinity War. I love you in Game of Thrones.
We're gonna get if we put this on YouTube, we're gonna get demonetized, right?
Demonetized.
We just made fun of midgets, and we also dissed Michael Burnham. That's an automatic demonetization.
And we also dissed the director of Star Wars, Rian Johnson, which is equal.
Dude, we're so.
And we said Disney. I'm pretty sure we said Disney is evil a couple times. So.
Well, we implied it.
So yeah, we're gonna get.
What were we talking about?
I have no idea. We are so tired. By the way, it's literally midnight. So.
Well, it was midnight a while ago. Is it midnight now?
No, it's only 11:36 actually.
Why does that say 10:30 on your laptop?
Well, I think it's because I never turn the time forward. But yeah, it's almost midnight.
Herbal supplements. Messing with David's computer.
Listen.
By the way, when I say herbal supplements, I definitely don't mean herbal supplements.
I listen. I buy like.
I mean other things.
I buy a lot of pre-workout and I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon that are not herbal supplements.
All right, man.
But yeah, so Peter Dinklage, if you're listening, we love you. But yeah, so do you think that he would play Willow if Willow was a thing now?
Oh, totally.
It would be Peter Dinklage. It would be Peter Dinklage staring on a desert planet, holding a long sword, jumping over a horse, and it'd say Willow, Rise of the Pack.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
We're stupid. Is that it?
I guess that's it.
Is that the first episode?
I guess that's the first episode.
How long did we go?
Right now it has us at 40. Right now it has us 42 minutes and 17 seconds, so almost an hour.
Well, if you're rounding up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, hey.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was whatever the name of the podcast was, and
this was the very first episode of Let's Talk About It. Thank you so much for joining us again. My name is David.
I'm Rick.
And thank you so much. If you're listening to this, that's awesome. Please support us and
give him all your money.
And I hope you come back for next week's episode. Hopefully, I will be with my buddy Jordan, and we will be talking about Shadow of the Colossus, which is a video game released in 2005 and just re-released for the PS4. So be looking for that. If that's not the case, then hopefully I'll be talking with my little brother Jonathan about the same topic. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day, and God bless. Thank you. Bye.
Take care.